Hi, everybody. We are here for the sprint review 100, and I am with the SSW rules team. Let's move to the sprint review email. So,
Can you zoom this up a little bit, please?
Yes, it's 130. It's okay for you? Awesome. As you can see, we had some goals. A lot of them are achieved, but not the Versa one and not the Azure one. One of the goals was to have the migration script working on SSW. We're going to talk about this one, but this has been achieved. And we also had that Versa thing deployment to make it work. It's partially done, but we're also going to talk about that later on while skimming through the backlog. And the last one is still in progress. It's the Azure Investigate and Deploy POC on Azure. This is in progress. So let's move on to the next part. So as I said, it's the number 100 sprint review. I'm going to update that part here about the YouTube video. It was a one week sprint, 8 man days. And that's it for us. If you want to try test environments on Azure, you can click here, or in Versa, you can also click here. And let's move on to the sprint backlog. So we've got two main points to discuss here. The first one is about Versa deployment. Those two PBIs are related. Maybe Hugo, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. So we did manage to deploy on the cell. It's working fine. The only thing that we are missing at the moment is preview branches. So when you make a new content branch, it would be nice to have a preview environment on the cell to see how it looks. At the moment, with the current implementation, we can't achieve that, but we had a talk with Matt, and he has a solution for us. So the Tina team is working on something. I've added the issue here on the comment. We discussed this with Gert and Jean. We think that it's okay for now, so we won't spend any more effort on this until the Tina team fix the issue. In the meantime, we can live without preview branches. That's what we think.
All right. Thank you, Hugo. If you have any question, maybe we can move forward to the next big piece of that sprint. It was about making the SSW people working with the migration script, and that's what Chloe did. Those two PBIs are related. Maybe you want to talk about it?
Yes. So we made some changes to the migration script. In the past, it could only work on SSW rules because there were many hard-coded values. But now the script is more general and more flexible. So I tested around this script on SSW people. And as expected, there were no errors and no changes because we didn't have any component set up for people. But this should be the result we expect. Okay.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Chloe. Any question about this one, guys? No? Okay. Before continuing, just a side note about the Azure PBIs that was part of our goals. This is still a work in progress. There is lots of things to do, but we are kind of stuck because of permission on Azure. We have to go back and forth with the sysadmins, but this is still in progress. And if there is no more question or any question, let's move forward. About the timesheet data, this is empty because Christian didn't work on the project this week. And and about the release, no release yet because we are still working on the POC. About AI usage, I think this is the same as the last week. Hugo? Yeah. Okay. Because I didn't ask Hugo, so that's why I'm asking him right now.
You guessed right.
Yes. And about the sprint retro, I'm happy that we have a lot of done. I'm happy also that we validate the Versa deployment, even if the preview branch system is not working, as Hugo said just before. And Chloe, me, and Christian are happy that the migration script is working on SSW people. And what didn't go so well, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, we still have some issue with Azure permissions. So sometimes we have to wait 24 hours to have a sysadmins helping us for, because of all those time zones. But Gert said to me before that that will be fixed with a system with the China. Though, so that's very nice. Thanks, Gert, for that. And if you have anything else
Hold
to
on,
add.
hold on,
Yes.
hold on. Like Gert can't fix that fast. He's just got a plan to fix it.
To
But
plan, yeah.
that's a longer term plan. But at the moment, when you get a permissions problem and you're blocked, you probably need to call me to see if I can, because I have plenty of permissions, or ping the sysadmins to say I'm blocked on this and see if any of them can help. Because sometimes they'll be able to help, sometimes they won't. Yep.
Yes.
The short-term plan, Adam, though, is to get Jerry elevated access so that he can help
Okay.
them out.
Or
Yeah.
that's a much better one. I'm not sure. I do know Jerry has the most experience. I think that we need somebody who has good communication with the SSW sysadmins. So it couldn't really be Jerry. It would have to be another person because he's got the he doesn't have the greatest English. So that would cause a lot of problems. Yep. Yeah. So probably
very long term.
Jim,
Ideally, we'd have sysadmins here as well. But yeah, that's
yes.
it's not for tomorrow.
There was a discussion about that. So the other alternative is that we could give Jean more permissions. That might be another alternative.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
Interesting though. Well, interesting. The thing is, I'm happy to prove stuff, but I'm still no sysadmin. Like, there's a lot of questions where I wouldn't know, but I have good communication with them, so that's an option.
And sometimes it's just not about permission. Sometimes we need help to create app registration with permission inside, and it's more complicated. So to just tick something. Yeah, it's good for them.
And just a small thing on the very first good thing here, Gilles. Lots of done. It's lots of dones with an S, and
Yes.
the lots start with a capital L, like your other ones.
Yep, sure.
Yeah, okay. All right. And then what didn't go so well, and just say in the meantime, we will look for somebody in China or France to have elevated permissions. But I do think that when you are blocked, I have not seen any evidence that you've been blocked. So I haven't seen you ping Kiki and Chris and Rob and me and say I'm blocked. I can't do anything.
I talked to Rob like 3 mornings in a row. But I think
I've spoken to the Frenchies most days, and I haven't been told we are blocked by a sysadmin problem.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's because Rob helped me, and I was unstuck for a few hours, and after that I'm blocked again. So I need to wait Rob for the next day to unblock me.
I guess all that Adam is saying is that it's not visible.
Gilles, I
believe
it's not.
we can't solve the problem long term because it's not visible enough.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I understand.
Just make it more visible.
Yeah.
Group chat or email.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Essentially, the thing that you should put a prefix on Gert. So Gert should say long-term dash, short-term dash, be more visible. Now you can keep the as per Gert, just put long-term dash. So he's got a good fix that will. Yeah.
Yeah, that's long term.
Yep. Sure.
And then another one short term.
Yeah, get that short going. And then in here. No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Short before or after, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, well. You already have it in what could be improved. So
Yeah.
we'd copy that there. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Just ping that. And kill. Right click. Right click.
Short term is elevated permissions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, short term is give somebody elevated permissions, e.g.
Oh, you
John or Jim Z or someone.
That's
Oh,
different.
you want
to
that
the-
as your, okay,
what
okay,
could be
Control Z,
improved.
sorry, Control Z. I am an idiot. Yep, cool, and change that to give, you know, or yeah, someone, actually.
Someone in France.
Someone.
Oh, someone.
In brackets, Zen or Jean,
Instead of
EG,
No.
EG. Yeah, Zen, is that Zen? Zen? Sorry,
like this?
Jean? Mm,
Adam,
Not sure. I'm sorry.
Adam,
Yes.
who did you mention in China to give elevated?
Jim
permission?
Z maybe.
Jim Z, okay, cool. So Jim Z,
Right.
someone with a J.
All right. Anything else, guys, about Sprint Retro?
Good. No, I concur with Adam on the being blocked on Azure. Of course, I was not very available because of security stuff, but I was not aware you guys got blocked, and I could have helped because I could have called Kiki or Chris.
Actually, I had Rob every day, but
Yeah, but until you get blocked, right?
yeah, until I'm blocked again.
Yeah, but then I could try to unblock you when
Oh,
you
okay.
get blocked.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
trying to make it more visible. I think a group chat with me, Adam, and the sysadmins in would do wonders.
Okay, yeah, let's create one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Otherwise, yeah, cool. Can you scroll back up to the list of dons?
By the way, those notes are still missing. Be more visible when you're blocked.
Yeah, in the things to approve.
Oh, yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Yep. And you want? Oh, I think. Oh, no, it's all
Yeah,
right.
gotta remember that one. Yeah, wow. Oh, there we go.
Be more
Yeah,
visible.
cool.
Be more visible when blocked.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise, yeah, no, I concur. There's one item that you haven't talked about. That's the one that was assigned to me for the sprint.
Yes.
I don't know what you want to do with that.
I thought maybe we can talk about it at the end, but
Sure.
you can talk about
No, I don't mind. You do you.
Okay. No, let's talk about it right now. Let's move to the backlog, and it's
sorry, the
space was there. Go back.
Wait,
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's here. I'm blind. Yeah, Jean, it's about estimate how much clients would pay, and you put the comments.
I was kind of hoping you would talk about it as a Scrum Master, because that's
Okay.
like, I can run the math, but you should own this. So as expected, we are over budget. The initial estimated budget was about 100K, and we currently sit at 132. And based on what Gilles told me on what's remaining in the backlog, there's another 30K left. So the total spend in the end should hover around 165K AUD, which is ridiculous for that kind of work. No client would pay.
No, very, very expensive. And I also will be very impressed if they can finish this job in 30K. Because I still haven't seen it deployed. I still haven't seen any of the pages, and the CSS work could be, more tricky
Monster.
than you think.
Yes,
Mm.
I
Yeah,
concur.
so we're not done with the sprint summary yet. So let us just finish and then we can discuss that.
Well, that was
Okay.
part of this current sprint, right? So that's why I wanted to bring it up. But
Yeah,
if you want to,
that's fine. Let's finish on what we've managed to do.
Yep.
And then, we can talk about what the risks are.
sure.
Okay. Right. So let's move to the sprint forecast. All right. The sprint goals for the next sprint is to make that migration script working on Vercel during the deployment, and fixed Markdown compatibilities. We made a bunch of PBIs with Gert about this one. Just to let you know that the next sprint will be a small one because of public holidays, and Hugo will be missing on Friday as well. So that's why it's
Plus visiting Aussies.
visiting Aussies, yeah,
Yes.
and then we'll be in France. So that's why that sprint is smaller than the previous one. But as you see, the main goals our Markdown and Versa deployment. All right. If you got any question.
Yeah. So if no one else has any questions, did you show the deployed version that we've got at the moment, Gilles?
Yeah, no, I didn't show it. Yeah, that's our POC right now on Versa. We already see it last week, but as you can see, it's still working. You can.
Sorry, is this what was deployed last week or what was deployed this week?
That's what has been deployed this week, but this is almost the same. There is no
Yes.
major improvement here. Just to let you know
But
that it's still working.
if you deployed it, I definitely would have started with this. This is the current increment. This is where you're at.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now,
sure.
I thought the idea was Chloe was going to deploy everything so we would see it all.
Yeah, that's the goal for this sprint. This is still in progress, but we are almost there. She finished the script. The script is working locally, and now we have to make sure that it's working during the Versa deployment.
So my understanding was that she was going to deploy everything because the script, you had confidence the script would work, and I thought the script wasn't generic enough. So I thought you were going to deploy it for the rules and then deploy it for people or run it on people just to check whether the script was good enough.
Last week the script didn't work even locally because of no, the script didn't work on Vercel because of 500 errors, and in the meantime Chloe updated the script, and now that the script is updated and working as well on SSW people, we want to make sure that the script is working again, is working on the Versa deployment now.
Okay, I'm going to say it again, Gilles, because I don't think you got it. I thought that you were going to, it was already working and you were going to deploy it on rules first and just to make sure it all deployed. And then you were going to check it was generic enough and then run it on people where you'd see other little problems.
So why did you run on people if the plan was to run on rules actually first?
The script did work locally on rules last week. We
So
make
why
it
isn't it deployed?
Why not deploy the plan?
You got throttled, right?
we got some throttle error on Vercel.
Okay.
In the meantime, Chloe make it work on SSW people locally as well, updated the script, and now we still need to make it work on Versa deployment.
So you're still going to have the throttling error.
Yes. Yes.
So why not
That's
keep working on that?
Yeah.
Sorry?
That is the plan now.
Yeah,
That
I
is the
just don't
plan.
understand why they switched off it.
But why not trying to fix it?
When did they switch off it?
But because it was one of the goals as well. Make it work on SSW people and make the Versa deployment
Was
working.
the goal to make it on rules first and then people?
No,
or make it work on both?
No, it was people the top priority goal.
People was the top priority.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the reason you deploy to people. Okay.
We didn't deploy on people. We just
run. Yeah.
We made it run.
It was the goal. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he said this to Adam. It was a goal.
Yeah, it was our top priority goal.
That's the reason.
On that sprint. The current sprint.
Okay, guys, we couldn't hear you guys were talking there internally. Can you just give us a summary of what you just discussed, please, Gilles?
Yes.
Sorry, I'll just tell you again, Gilles.
Yes.
In the last sprint review, we understood that it was now working fine. We didn't hear about any throttling issues, and the idea was you would run it and deploy it.
I'm pretty sure we mentioned it.
We did mention the throttling, I remember, because we even discussed the 429. Like,
yes.
He said 500, and I said, well, are you sure it's not a 429? And blah, blah.
Yeah,
you what discussed?
Yeah, I don't recall any of that, but I don't dispute it. But what I did understand was that that Chloe was very happy with it. So that was going to be, she considered it done and was going to be deployed. And I said, all right, before you consider it done, run it on people to see if it's generic enough. So what's happened from there is Gilles has understood, okay, people is now top priority. And if there's problems deploying it, that's second priority. Yeah, it's just obviously getting it working on rules is number one priority. Having it generic is a sub priority, but it's just good to know that you know.
Alright.
Will you clarify this on the next goal then? to
Yeah,
make sure it's
yeah, it was a misunderstanding on my side. I thought that making it working on SSW people was the top priority, and then make it generic and then make it work on versus deployment was the sub priority. My mistake.
Okay, no worries.
What did you understand, good?
I wasn't there.
Okay.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
That's a good excuse.
Thank you. Thank you.
Want to update the forecast email with the goal now to be clear about rules first, people second.
But people, it's
Okay,
working.
right.
Actually, yeah, it's already
goal now
done.
is rules.
No, the goal is to
Okay.
make it work on versus deployments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we just update the fixed markdown compatibilities? Because I wasn't there when you explained it, and I have no idea what it means. Absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
What's the topic?
The topic is we still have 4 items in the backlog, 4 PBIs about some markdown compatibilities, and
What's
Tags.
yeah, it was shortcode tags. It was, let me show you.
Oh, it's migration, like tag migration, like
Yes,
the compatibilities. That's the word.
yes, like
But it's my bad. I should have listened.
yeah, embedding issues, line after block codes issues, and shortcode issues. It's just
Like rendering issues, or it's migration issues.
rendering, and we have to make it work. Tina Markdown.
So it doesn't break the code. It's just
No, it
weird.
doesn't break.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Can you just update that to be rendering dash or something? Markdown dash.
yeah, right.
No,
I'm
the
gonna do it
The email.
in the email.
in the email. Oh, sorry.
Just make it markdown dash fix rendering issues.
Yeah.
And if you know there's 4, just type it 4 so it's easy to circle back next week.
So
Dash fix rendering issues.
now I just want to talk about Vercel and Azure. And we decided that we want it deployed on Azure, but it was potentially scary and there was going to be a lot of problems. And we thought Vercel will work out of the box. This is before any throttling worries. It will just work. So let's just temporarily deploy it to Vercel. That was just during that sprint while we work on Azure. It now feels like Vercel isn't that simple. We spent a lot of time, many sprints now, and you've been blocked on Azure. So I'm not sure why we're spending any more time on Vercel when it hasn't been easy and we're not going to be using it. Unless it's miles faster for the rules or there's some other reason that we haven't discussed.
This is a POC, Adam. So what we are focusing on is getting the migration scripts to work. We're not really focusing on where it's running. So a lot of these issues we'll run into in Azure too. So to be focused on the environment at the moment doesn't make any sense. We first need to get the scripts done and to get the scripts working, which we are probably about 90% complete now. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I've got this wrong, but there's 4 people mostly working on this full time, which is Christian, Gilles, Hugo, and Chloe. And only Chloe is working on the migration stuff. The other guys are working on the deployment stuff and getting the pages right. Is that correct?
Yep. Hugo was working on Vercel, I was working on Azure, and Chloe on the script, basically. Yeah.
And Christian, what are you working on?
I'm not working on rules.
Oh, you're not? Okay. Okay. Is that what did you know that, Gert?
Yes, I knew that. And I also knew that Hugo was on a spec review. So he
Okay.
didn't do,
For
he
2 days.
didn't do a lot of days. Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as I know, at least last time we touched base, which is Thursday, I believe, last week, we didn't do anything on Vercel. Well, that was my impression, at least. We said, cool. I think we had this discussion with Gert.
For this sprint, you mean?
Yeah, for this sprint.
Nothing new on Vercel.
Okay, yeah, because we said, all right, Vercel is working. We just don't have the
preview branches.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The preview branches. So let's drop that. We don't care about it because it's temporary anyway.
Yeah.
Let's focus. So that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
The only
that's
thing
clear
we did with Vercel was trying to deploy with all the rules.
Yes.
right. Yeah. Trying to run the whole.
Yeah.
But the throttling issue is a Vercel problem was a script problem. Yeah.
That's a big problem.
Tina build or Vercel build or like what? It's Tina, right? So it's platform independent.
Yeah.
It could be next build, next
Okay,
just
okay.
build.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
next. It's
Yeah,
platform
could be.
independent. So
Yes.
so I'm across it. But I think it was
Yeah.
clear for everybody. Like, so yeah,
That's
Adam,
what I
did
mean.
you get
So
that?
that's the issues. Yeah, sorry, you go.
Did you get that, Adam?
No, I think you guys are talking internally, aren't you?
Oh, I was trying to get my ducks in a row before I explain what's going on, because that's, well, at least from my understanding, I haven't looked at it for a while. But since Thursday last week, nothing's been done on Vercel per se. So as of Thursday last week, Vercel deployment is working. The only thing not working being the preview, but we said we don't care. It's fine. It's good enough to move forward and work on migration work. The only deployment issue we were working on, what they were working on, is the throttling issue, which is a Next problem and not a Vercel problem. So no matter the deployment destination, we'd have this issue anyway. That's what I hear. Well, I don't know.
Does Next have any ability to have throttling issues itself? Like, does that make sense?
So you're up.
Yeah, you're creating 3,000 markdown files and you're deploying them. I don't understand how this has this is a Next problem. You're
Yes.
deploying like 4 Next pages.
Actually, the problem is with the home page. It takes more than 60 seconds to generate that page. And so I think Next has a limitation for that. So once it exceeds 60 seconds, it will make the build failed. So
Okay.
yeah, we have this problem now.
Okay, but if it takes 60 seconds, well, you could change the page design, I guess, or see if you can increase the limit, or generate it locally in your own processing power, couldn't you?
We can try, yes.
Do you understand what's going on, Matt?
Not really.
Yeah, I'm confused. This is Next is just generating a static page.
Where is the 60 seconds being spent?
Because in the homepage we have it has to search for all the categories and all the rules. So it takes because we have 4,000 rules, and so it takes more than 60 seconds.
But you're not going to plonk 4,000 rules on that homepage. You're only plonking the categories.
Yeah, but it will search for the numbers of rules for each category. So that's the main.
Right. So you
problem.
could take the number off just to get the page generated.
Sorry, just to zoom out a bit. So you're saying that the 60 seconds is a data retrieval, spent in data retrieval.
Doesn't sound, but you don't need to retrieve the data. You can count. Like if you think, like you don't need to actually get the data from Tina or wherever. All you need is the number, right? So
Yes.
find it hard to believe that you have to retrieve everything. I obviously haven't touched any of the code, so I don't know.
Yep.
You tell me.
But we can try to modify the code just to see if that will work.
And that's where the throttling issue is. It's not really throttling then. It's timer. I thought the throttling. I was under the impression that the issue was deploying 4,000 pages, but you're right, we're not really, because we deploy just a few static pages and then hydrate them. So I don't really see what throttling,
At the beginning, that was because we didn't use the pagination, and so we got that 503 problem.
Yeah.
503 errors, and then we managed to use paginations for home page and for single rules page, and then we run into this 60.
Okay. Did you hear Jean say that he doesn't think it's a throttling issue? It's
Okay,
more like
sorry,
it's
guys.
a timeout to generate the page.
Yeah. Can we just finish the sprint
Yes.
review?
Yes.
Because this is now getting in solution mode, and we've moved the goal for the next sprint. We haven't even gotten to that yet. is to sort this out. So this is all great feedback, but it's not part of the sprint review.
Yeah, true. Anyway, I think we are done here. If there is no more question, as always, that sprint review has been recorded and will be uploaded on the SSW Rules YouTube channel. Thanks, everyone, and then see you on the next sprint. Bye.
Thanks, Gilles.
See you guys.
Thank you.
And now maybe we can move back to the